We're continuing to follow breaking news this afternoon. Law enforcement agencies in New Jersey are responding to an active shooter situation in Jersey City. We are hearing reports that multiple officers have been shot. If you are just joining us, though, we are following two mass shootings in the U.S. in less than 24 hours. That first one, as we mentioned, happened yesterday in El Paso. Another shooting happening overnight around 1 a.m. in Dayton, Ohio, where 9 people were shot and killed. That suspect was shot and killed by police, but police still haven't identified him or given us a motive. Well, after 3 hours and 40 minutes, the first of 2 congressional hearings today with testimony from former Special Prosecutor Robert Mueller has now wrapped up. This with the House Judiciary Committee. And this morning we heard rapid questioning from both Republicans and Democrats who are searching for clarity in the findings of Mueller's investigation into Russian interference and possible obstruction of justice by the President of the United States. We're following breaking news right now out of South Austin. The Austin Fire Department is at an elementary school due to a report of the smell of gas and some people feeling ill. Spectrum News' Chelsea Trahan is at Pleasant Hill Elementary School, where some people have already been treated. And Chelsea, I know this is a fluid situation, but what can you tell us right now? President Trump condemning white supremacy in the wake of this weekend's double mass shootings that left nearly 30 people dead. We have full coverage from El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio today. Thanks for being with us. I am Tara Pettit. This hour, we'll get the latest on this tragedy in El Paso and the one out of Ohio from our Spectrum News crews on the ground there. We'll also share the names of some of the victims we've learned. We begin this afternoon with the latest out of El Paso. You're looking at a live look of the memorial set up outside the Walmart there. That remains a crime scene. That was President Trump laying out his new plan to address the immigration issues at the border. His proposal would impose new security measures, investing in technology, and in order to scan all products coming into the U.S., it would create a permanent and self-sustaining border security trust fund, and it would change the current asylum laws that the president says gives incentives. The U.S., Mexico, and Canada agreement is moving forward. Coming up on Spectrum News, what the measure entails and what that means for American workers. Plus, there's a college in Texas where you can get a degree in winemaking. We'll show you the campus where they are popping the cork on the new program. And while we love to take pictures of our pets, they don't always cooperate. We'll introduce you to one photographer with tricks to get the job done. Good afternoon, and thanks for watching Spectrum News. I'm Tara Pettit. Before we get to those stories and more, it's now 1 minute past. Time to get a check of your forecast and your weather on the ones.
Here's Tara Pettit in the Via Traffic Center. Hi, Tara.
Hey, Dan.
Hi,
How's
Sarah.
it going? I know, like,
How are you? Well.
Howdy.
Howdy, kids. Well, we're down here in the traffic center, and the good news is that crash that was on 410 at Evers has cleared on out. That didn't last very long, but we are still seeing a little bit of some residual effects there, some backups, some slowdowns. This traffic moving, as you can see, a bit slower than your posted speed limits.
Let's go, Tara Pettit in the traffic center. So make that first school bell sound again.
Yeah, I said, but
Just wondering.
Just getting all used to it.
That was like my inner Cardi B, I think. I'm not sure where that
Cardi
came from.
T. I'm good at it too.
Cardi T here with your traffic report. Well, right now we got quite a few crashes to report. We are just a few days away from Halloween, so for this week's Newcomers News, we are at Gibson Street Bar, where Halloween is celebrated all month long. And joining me here is Christy Owens with 365 Things Austin. The bar isn't the only place to celebrate Halloween. What are some other places newcomers can go to celebrate? We are here in Hollywood for the big night. We've been following season 17 of The Voice very closely because we have several Central Texans that have made it on the show, and one of them could be crowned the winner tonight.
He really was a larger-than-life presence.
The Texas music scene is missing one of its most beloved performers. Tommy Hancock, known to some as a talented musician, others as a joyful dancer, a spiritual follower, and a loving father. There's a lot he will be remembered for.
When you think about the time period that he lived through and what he accomplished, he was really a Renaissance man.
Born in March of 1929, Hancock's hometown of Lubbock was mostly regarded as the largest contiguous cotton-growing region in the world. Years later, Hancock would help put Lubbock on the map in a whole new way. The city's iconic music venue, the Cotton Club, burned down in 1958. 4 years later, Tommy and his wife Charlene rebuilt the club. And as its owner, Hancock created a platform for musicians from all walks of life to have a voice in the Texas music scene.
You know, some people say he was a patriarch, not just to his family, but to a whole group of and generation of musicians.
Musicians and artists like the Flatlanders, Jimmy Gilmore, Butch Hancock, Buddy Holly.
There's hundreds of stories about how he's helped people with their music careers. People that I've admired all my life, when I hear them talk about how my dad helped them with their music career, it makes me feel really blessed to have had such a good father that people think so highly of.
Although Hancock gave the club new life, it wasn't what he wanted to do forever.
My dad finally got tired of all those cowboys fighting, and he decided to sell the Cotton Club.
As a father of 5 with a desire for something more, Hancock packed up his family and moved to northern New Mexico.
My dad told all the kids in the family, y'all pick out an instrument and we'll start a family band.
And that's what led to the formation of the Supernatural Family Band.
It's unusual for musical parents to truly pass that on to a child, one child, much less every child. So that's a really strong gene pool.
They toured the Rocky Mountains and became more and more popular with each performance.
It was so fun to travel around and play music with my dad.
The bond that grew within the family is what Louis says he cherishes the most during their time on the road which eventually led the family back to Texas, settling in Austin.
They moved here as a group in the 80s, but it was like they'd always been here. It's like he just lifted the scene up.
Hancock and his family quickly became locals, playing weekly gigs, and although it was unintentional, Meckling credits Hancock for playing a role in developing the city into what is now named the live music capital of the world.
He became a really integral part of the fabric that makes up the cultural scene here.
In 2000, Tommy was inducted into the Austin Chronicle Music Awards Hall of Fame. In 2002, the Supernatural Family Band was inducted into the Country Music Association of Texas Hall of Fame. Although honorable, Hancock was never in search of fame.
My dad told me that after getting well known, a lot of musicians lose happiness. And my dad just wanted to be at home every night, sleeping in his bed, and be with his family. And he accomplished that.
All he wanted is to do what he loved, with the ones he loved.
I think I was searching for direction in my life. And he'd say, son, if you're not doing what you want to, why ain't you? Once I caught on to that, it really meant a lot to me. He gave me that direction to follow my heart, and it was the best advice I could have ever gotten.
Just really a great guy. You felt good to be around him. I think that is something that everyone's going to hold close to their heart.
And the tears fall for our comfort, our lives, and our peace. So still.